Our good friends at Dunktown created this really fun game that is not related in any way to Wordle, and we're going to play. And for those of you who know the rules to Wordle, it's exactly the same. Let's try. Okay, guess one of 8. Do we want to do a guard or a...
I always start with Andrew Wiggins because he's the most
Let's try Wiggins, just to be... Yeah. Just to be rebels about it, not even doing the popular Wiggins. Okay, so Western Conference guard, 6'4".
Westbrook's like 6'4".
Wait. No, Westbrook's like 6'3", right? 6'4", is he? But he's younger, but younger than 23.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Under 23 in the West. Is it Davion Mitchell? No, he's not 6'4". He's like 6'1".
Try it though. Davion Mitchell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Under 23. Who's the youngest player on the Suns? Oh, is Aaron not here?
Yeah. Is Aaron really not here? It's like
this is the reels are falling
This
off.
show is shambolic 100% of the time. Welcome to All Caps. Folks, Stephen A. and Chris Mad Dog Russo are at it again, giving you only the most intelligent and reasoned sports discourse that the American late capitalist regime can produce for the world.
No, he's not! Are you kidding me?
Yes, I
Top 10!
Yes,
Let's go through!
The greatest shooter
Let's go through.
in the history. You really
Let's
want to
go
do this?
through.
You want to do this?
Let's go. Can we go through?
Let's go. We got
This sounds like
we
two
got
guys
LeBron.
like getting angry at each other as they're trying to have like a menage a trois. Let me go through them. No, well, let's do it. Well, let's go through. Where are you gonna put it? Okay, let's talk about it. Wait, how long is this clip? This clip is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Chris Russo again is a big part of my childhood, and this is too much. Let's talk about the Lakers. They're shambolic. They're an absolute fucking mess. Bill Plaschke, who is almost universally despised in Los Angeles as a troll, and moreover as a troll who somehow has an influence like on Laker deliberations. Like, he is a wild asshole. But when he writes something, the Lakers do tend to pay attention to it. And here is what Bill Plaschke says: the Lakers must trade LeBron James. It sounds crazy, but it's the best path forward. LeBron James is a giant. He's not bigger than the Lakers. Okay. I know somebody is old when they write in the style where they have 4 different lead sentences. Write it as a fucking paragraph. Why is the opening of your piece, LeBron James is a giant, end sentence, end paragraph, space, he's not bigger than the Lakers, period, space, like, just write like a fucking normal person.
This is like a 10th grade like history paper or something.
Yeah, like, why are you writing fucking poetry? Anyway, so Bill Plaschke says it's time for the Lakers to trade LeBron. LeBron has been hinting over the course of the last couple of weeks that he'd be open to playing back with the Cavaliers. He'll play with any team that drafts his son, Bronny James, currently projected as a high second-round pick. So let's play this clip.
It sounds like a hot take. It sounds like an idiocy. It sounds crazy. But the cold, hard truth is they will not win a championship while LeBron James is with his team.
I mean, here's the thing. If you have 2 of the top 15 players in the league, why are you trading them? I guess that's the part that's confusing to me. You have LeBron James and you have Anthony Davis. Okay, you're not winning the title this year because the roster's a fucking mess, and Rob Pelinka, who refused to make a trade at the trade deadline, stood pat, and LeBron is mad at him and probably inundating him with angry emails and texts and DMs at all hours. Listen, LeBron knows that he assembled this roster, and he knows that everybody knows that he assembled this roster, and he knows that it's hard to disassemble this roster, but LeBron James would probably also be of the mindset to say, so what, just like fix it. I know I fucked it up, but like fix it. How many titles did you win as GM before I arrived on the scene? Like literally 0. Also, have we forgotten how Magic Johnson, during the very brief, very corrupt period when Magic Johnson was running the Lakers, how he was like shitting on Rob Pelinka day and night? Like, he was actively feuding with Rob Pelinka to the point that when he like left was like, it's because of that backstabber and betrayer Rob Pelinka?
I think LeBron's thing is like, your job isn't that hard, Rob. You have me and Anthony Davis already. That's a good place
That's
to start.
like you
Just
got
go from there.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he still has a job when he spent the trade deadline at Disneyland. He wasn't even making calls. He's
Pelinka?
literally at Disneyland on the trade deadline.
We forget. Remember when Rob Pelinka said that Kobe was like hanging out with
Heath Ledger.
Ledger? Yeah.
was hanging out with Heath Ledger, like watching a screening
What a
of
weird
The
line.
Dark Knight, but like Heath Ledger was also like deceased at the time when that would have been the case. Anyway, Brian Windhorst, who is of course directly connected in many ways to LeBron James and LeBron James' career, talked about this, and let's go and listen to it.
I think they have to go all out
Yep.
and not just think about trading LeBron, as Plaschke is bringing up, but trade Anthony Davis too.
I mean, that's what they have to do. Like, if you have LeBron, the window is now. He's 37. He is not hanging around to be like, oh yeah, let's rebuild, even if it's a light rebuild. Like, oh yeah, we'll take a retool year next year and then we'll be back at it the year after. No, LeBron does not have time for that. And LeBron does not want to hear about draft picks. He doesn't care about draft picks. He does not care how high the Laker draft pick is next season, any season that he's on the team. It's like trying to get a boomer to care about climate change. They don't fucking care.
Is he a bad teammate? Like, if we think about all
No.
this together.
I mean, it's like, what do you, like, you want somebody to take you out to, like, Applebee's, like, after the game and, like...
At
Maybe.
most, he's like a shitty stepdad. Like, yeah, you have no connection to him.
Right, yeah.
Like, if your new stepdad likes you, that's probably pretty chill. If he doesn't and he wants you out of the house, then you probably don't want to be at that house anymore.
It sucks for them, but this is the life you guys wanted.
No,
It
we
sucks.
didn't. We didn't even ask for this. He just showed up one day and then
But
we
it's
got to start
worth
rooting
it,
for him.
right? Like, I'm a fan of a team that hasn't won a championship in 50 years. No, everybody who saw the Knicks win the championship in 1972, they're all dead. Every single one of them have died. There's no one left alive who saw that with their own fucking eyes. And my personal theory is, whatever it takes, whatever the cost, whatever the repercussions for making moves that get you a championship, it's fucking worth it. Like, yes, this sucks right now. It's not great. You're scrapping for the play-in with 4 Hall of Famers and 2 of the best players in the NBA. But, like, you guys want a chip. Anyway, let's take a minute to run an ad by our supporting sponsor, Trade Gravy.
Do you need to gain 20 pounds and get it off quick? Are you a boxer that needs to make weight? Do you hate your teammates? That's where Trade Gravy comes in. Make your ability a liability. It's super simple to use. Just add our gravy to every meal for 2 weeks and you'll be traded away in no time. Including a special laxative edition so you can shrink down with your new team. Trade Gravy's all-natural recipe includes the Venezuelan sugarcane used to help prenatal weight gain for centuries. Eater LA says it's technically food, and we're the CDC's top-ranked gravy to look out for in 2022. When you need to get traded, the gravy will aid it. Trade Gravy.
Folks, my girlfriend said something fucking hilarious last night. She was like, what if Ja Morant can fly? Think about it. What if Ja Morant is like a mutant or an alien? Like from a civilization of flying aliens. They've been living here on the planet, but keeping it real low key. But then Ja is the one who's like actually flying in a way that people could see. And they're like, yo, listen, if you need to get from like LA to London and you need to fly there, we get it. That's part of it. But none of us have a job that makes us a celebrity, in part for the fact that we are like low key flying. Like, you're going to blow this for everybody, Ja. Like, let's just watch this clip.
Could not clear the defensive glass. Oh,
my gosh. Look at this. Partner, take an elbow sandwich as I get to the rim.
Oh, my. As the kids say, he caught a body.
Look at the bitch.
Already
hold
14
on.
fouls.
Fuck, man. Wait, how old is Booker? Booker is 26. Pacific. Okay, so Kings, Lakers, Clippers, Warriors.
Yeah.
Steph Curry?
How about
No.
Okay.
He's
well,
younger than
No.
23.
Terrence. I'm thinking Terrence Mann, maybe. As I lie, no,
Yeah.
that's not Terrence Mann.
Try it.
And I can't spell Terrence. All right.
If
Just
you
man.
pull it up
There
by
you
the
go.
last name, it'll.
So we're close on the height and the position.
Right.
So it's a 6'4" guard who's under 23, or probably 22.
And we're getting lower and lower with the number too.
I mean, is it
I think it can.
is it Gary Payton? Is it Gary Payton Jr.?
That's good.
Maybe.
That's really good. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, as a
closer.
Warrior, Darren Fox was in the news recently for a NFT project that he had been launching, funded by his fans. He had raised about $1.5 million with the idea that he would then launch some NFTs. And then after taking the 1.5 million, he suddenly announced that the project was kaput and the money was gonna go rah, 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 rah. I'll see y'all guys later. That's basically the statement that Darren Fox made. And is Darren Fox, whose Twitter handle is Swipe of the Fox, did he indeed swipe of the money? Patrick, you wrote a great story on this. Thank you for joining All Caps. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
What's the deal? Did Darren Fox steal $1.5 million?
This was called a rug pull, which is when, people mint a bunch of NFTs. They're like, we're going to build out this huge project. Just give us your money. We're going to use it on you. And then a month later, they're like, oh, shit. Sorry. You still have your assets. We're out. Good luck. It's unclear who pulled the rug. That's really there's some pretty big unanswered questions. That's the main one. But the matter of whether or not a rug was pulled is pretty definitively answered. There's no rug.
Darren announced in part, quote, it was time for him to, quote, connect my fans and some of the sports world with what I think is the future. That is how he announced the NFT project. But has he said anything about the rug pull itself and about where the funds might go and about what, in lieu of NFTs, might be given to fans and supporters of this project as a way to say, hey, we didn't make the NFTs, but here's this?
So he puts out this big statement where he's like, hey, season's taking up too much of my time. We're making this, if you want to call it a playoff push, sure, we can call it. It will be
Can I stop you? Wait. So I get it. The season's taking a lot of his time. I get it. They've got new personnel with the Kings now, and they're et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not was Fox at home in front of his computer coding? He wasn't out there running this thing.
No, not at all. He basically puts his name on it, and then he's there essentially to just bring the people in. And so he puts out this big statement where he's like, we're going to do some buybacks on people who bought 5 or more stories, which is the high rollers basically. And that's I think 3% of the customer base. And he's like, for other people who bought a certain amount of the profile picture ones, we'll send you some signed jerseys, but I'll have to wait till the off season to send you those. And I talked to a guy for the story who had a buyback actually done. He spent basically 1 Ethereum on all this stuff. And after OpenSea fees and then the 10% artist cut, which works in both directions here, he lost I think $1,500, maybe a little less, just buying and selling the same thing back to the same person. So in the most charitable interpretation, where all of these get bought back, the team still gets a 10% cut.
Here's my question, right? So he was raising money from fans for this project, and I'm assuming some of this money that was going to be raised was placeholders for an NFT that was going to be produced for whoever it is that had put in a $5,000 or $6,000, whatever amount of money stake. Why, again, all you have to do is take a digital asset, a GIF or a JPEG or whatever, run it through the blockchain, and now you have the fingerprint on it, and you don't need to raise, it's not like you're making a fucking car. Why do we need to raise the money to do this when all you need to do is run it through the program and make it an NFT? Where's the money going?
The fallout of this kind of gives the game away because the real scandal is that the value is zero. Well, not zero, but it's the floor price when I wrote the story was $8 and the mint price was $300. And so people are mad because the asset they have is now essentially worthless. But and there are people in this Discord who are organizing and they're like, okay, we need to get a lawyer. This is securities fraud. Then someone points out, they're like, you paid money for the asset. You have nothing fundamentally has changed about that relationship.
Patrick, anything else that stood out to you from the story?
Mostly just that my time in the NFT community has taught me that everyone is, not everyone, but there are just scams running in every direction. And like, just never click on a link, anything related to this, unless you're like 100% sure you know what it is.
Patrick, anything to plug?
Just defector.com. Check it out.
Support them. Support Defector. Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks for having me.
If you watch the show and you don't know this by now, there's something mentally and medically wrong with you, and I think you should have it checked out. We're talking about Underdog Fantasy's Pick'em game, and it's the easiest and most fun way to spice up your NBA season. Just pick over or under on your favorite or least favorite player stats. Kings are at Mavericks are on Saturday. How much money will Darren Fox steal from his fans? Act now and find out. Underdog keeps it super simple with their easy-to-use website and mobile app. Pick between 2 and 5 players, and you could take home some cold, hard cash. Use code ALLCAPS and get your first deposit doubled by Underdog. Sign up and play today. Woof woof! Is it Damian Lee?
Okay, that sounds right.
No, wait. Damian Lee's too tall. Fuck.
He's too tall.
Jordan
Poole. Too tall, yeah.
I think it's.
But look at the number. Look at the number. 1 is close, but it's slightly above.
Oh, is Moody
Jordan
too?
Poole?
Okay, I think.
No, it's not Jordan. Wait. Ooh,
Have we tried Moody? It might be.
No.
let's try it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, we definitely don't.
So the number is
Chris-
2 or 3.
Is
Is it Chris Chioza?
All right.
Do we do the silhouette after this?
Also, how many guesses do you get?
We have 2 more.
Did we do
Two more.
Jordan Poole already? Wait, did we do Jordan Poole already?
We haven't done Jordan Poole.
Should we do Jordan Poole?
Let's do Poole
It's older
first.
than that, I think, though.
I think it's Jordan Poole, right?
I
It's
think-
got to be Jordan Poole.
Okay, we have 2 guesses, and do we think Jordan Poole is under 23?
Let's just do it.
Chioza.
Okay.
I think Chioza. We'll go to the scroll. So James Harden made his debut for the Philadelphia 76ers, and the results have been blockbuster stuff, explosive. The team just manhandled the New York Knicks this week. And one of the people who is incredibly excited about it, more excited than he's been in years, is noted Jeffrey Epstein plane rider Alan Dershowitz. Here is Alan.
Hey, Daryl, I'm a great basketball fan, too, and I was a pretty good basketball player in high school.
Yeah, but in high school, days that I can't stop thinking about, by the way, was my teenage years. I think about them quite often. Me and my friend Jeffrey often talked about it.
And actually got into a fight once because I won a game on the free throw line, and the high school that I helped beat didn't like it, so I got a little black and blue after it was over. But you know, as you say, if you don't want people to shoot foul shots, don't foul them. That's the key.
That's
Good
right,
defense.
don't foul them. Me and Jeff on the plane always used to say defense starts with positioning. Jeffrey was big on playing defense with your feet. You don't want to play defense with your hands that much.
76ers, great team. I've been to a lot of Celtic 76ers game over the years, and good luck in life, and good luck in your basketball cheering.
Yes, this is Alan Dershowitz. And don't forget, the age of consent in Pennsylvania is 17 years old. Thank you so much, Alan Dershowitz. Big topic of conversation in the NBA for the last 150 million years is, could this guy have played in the 80s and 90s? Latest edition of this is Giannis. Could he have played in the 80s? This is Isaiah Thomas responding to Charles Oakley's assertion, and I would never disagree with Charles Oakley to his face, but I'll do it because he's not here, that Giannis could not have played in the 80s and 90s. I disagree, but here is Isaiah Thomas.
I remember in the 80s, there was a guy by the name of Ralph Sampson, okay? Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon. Before Ralph Sampson got hurt, they were saying that Ralph Sampson was going to be, I remember Bill Russo saying Ralph Sampson can be the greatest player ever because of his skill set, his ability to handle the ball, his ability to play around the baskets, his ability to block shots. Giannis is today's Ralph Sampson.
I completely agree with Zeke. I think if you transported Giannis back to those days, he would be an MVP level player. A similar thought experiment is, do we think that Zeke could sexually harass in today's league? He did all his sexually harassing in the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, right? And he's managed to get away with it. He's got a great job. We see him on Turner. He's featured on NBA TV, which, to be fair to NBA TV, exists mainly to give employment to disgraced members of the NBA community, but has suffered really no ill effects. James Dolan covered the $12 million fee. So I guess that's my question: is could Isaiah have sexually harassed in today's league?
I don't know how we answer that. I don't know.
Okay, we'll just. I think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
So the Zion Williamson conjecture continues to float around the Pelicans. It's unclear how dedicated Zion is to that team going forward. He's been out with injuries, has not played at all this season. He notably didn't contact his new teammate CJ McCollum until CJ called him out for not doing that. And here is a float in the Mardi Gras parade that made me feel not great and made me feel weird. Is this fine? Do we think this is fine?
Nothing about this feels fine. No, I don't even think the artistry is great. We can start there. It's kind of...
No, the artistry 100% bad. The dudes in masks and hoods on the float also make me feel weird about it. Something about it makes me feel not good. I'll say this, like, I was in New Orleans, like, before the pandemic, before the whole thing, and I went to some really, really good restaurant in the Garden District. And it's one of those things where you're in the South, everything looks like a plantation in the Garden District. You go to a restaurant, the front of house person and the manager are white in nice suits, and then all the wait staff are black in like tuxedos with the white gloves. Something about it, listen, I don't live there, I don't know the culture, yada yada yada. Something about that made me feel bad. I did not feel good. And I feel a similar feeling looking at this. Guess what? Your favorite tax evader, Glen Big Baby Davis, is doing stand-up according to Mike Malloy, but we couldn't find any example of Big Baby Davis doing stand-up. And so, Mike, did you imagine this?
Here's the thing. It's so bad. The venues that he's doing it in are so bad that it doesn't look like stand-up. The second picture on his IG is him holding a microphone doing stand-up behind the bar.
Hold on. I'm going to look at it on my phone.
Because you ugly. Like, we got nothing to do with why you ugly, okay? Like, be mad at your mama, be mad at your daddy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be mad at other people. So, like, if you ugly, just be ugly. And you could be a nice...
Mike, that's a solid 3 of his 5 minutes right there.
I didn't know Big Baby Davis was doing Comic View in 1999.
Be mad at your daddy. Like, be mad at what he ate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he must have ate some ugly shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are, like, come on now. Be mad at your daddy. Like, he didn't eat right. When he was having you and with you and your mama, they wasn't eating right. You're not ugly. Like, I'm not the reason why you ugly. Okay?